wonderful viewers. Welcome to the Poetry Slam Show here on Eco TV International, the People's Choice, where we celebrate the power of words, the beauty of expression, and the art of poetry. I am your host, Roheyatou Touray, and every week we invite talented poets to come and showcase their talent and art of work. And today here with me is one of the greatest poets that the Gam poetry has ever produced. He will introduce himself shortly, but before that, viewers can follow us on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Sponsors also are invited. You can call on the various numbers on the screen. I will now let my guest to introduce himself. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. Good day, everyone. I am Genius Janha, your favorite poet, and it's an honor to be here today live at Eco TV.
Okay, thank you very much and welcome to the show. All right, about your journey as a poet, what inspired you to become a poet?
Well, a lot of factors have contributed to it, but one of the things that inspired me the most is the fact that I went through a lot as a child. Okay. At an early age, I lost a lot of friends, people that I grew up with. Most of them passed away. Some of them passed away, the ones that I was really close with. Okay. So I've always wanted to find a way to, like, ooze out some of the things that I feel inside me. And poetry became the easiest way to use it. Because there was a particular day, I think when I was in grade 7, we were given an assignment by a teacher, Mr. Kante. That was the first time we were exposed to poetry. Because back in primary school, you deal with poetry, but you don't necessarily even know if this is poetry or not. Because all the songs that we used to sing back then, they're all part of poetry. Okay. So when we were given this assignment to write a piece, I think the first piece that we treated was When Africa Was a Young Woman by Tijanem Sala. It still remains one of the best poems that I've ever gone through. Okay. So we were asked to write. But at first, poetry used to be very funny to me. You know, when I see somebody reciting my deafly, you know, it's always funny to me. So when I wrote, but I didn't know it was very, very good until it was presented on at the classroom. Okay. You know, everybody loved it, and the teacher, and during the weekend, he lost someone very close to him. Okay. So when I was reciting and I looked at his face and I saw tears coming, I couldn't hold myself. It was hard. Okay. So fast forward, grade 8. This was around 2018, 17, if I'm not wrong. And there was a particular graduation ceremony in our school, and a speech was written in French and in English. So I was given the English part, and the French part was given to someone else. So when we all delivered the speech, it was more or less like saying thank you to everybody that came and the sponsors. You understand? Yeah. So there was this teacher, Mr. Bayo. Yeah, Mr. Bayo. The last time I checked, he was in India studying. So he asked me to give them something. So that was the first time like I had to stand in front of like thousands of people to recite poetry. I used to act by then, but I stopped because of one or two things, you know, but those are all sad things. But at the end of the day, I believe they made me who I am today. So when I performed, you know, the piece wasn't written, but in my head I knew what I wanted to say. And you know, as somebody that is not very, very intelligent, but a little bit smart, you always know your way out of every situation. So when I recited, like, when I give them a stanza, whilst they are cheering and shouting, I will not be shouting, I will just be at my own corner, trying to construct other lines, because it wasn't written. So it went like that, and people took videos, and the videos went viral. This was the first time that, like, I had videos with more than 50,000 views, because it was all over, understand? So I realized, some of them are definitely leaving I just venture into the arts of poetry. Okay. And that is how the journey came. I released my first poem back in 2018. It's 6 years now, 6 years plus since I started poetry, and ever since I started dropping, every poem that I drop goes viral. Okay. So that is how it is until we are here today, filling up venues and performing at big shows.
Yeah. Your journey is really tough and inspiring too.
Yeah, for real.
Okay. So how did you discover your unique voice as a poet? What was it? Was it a gradual process or a sudden realization?
Yeah, I would say it's a sudden realization, because at first I knew I could recite, but I didn't know that my voice was so good that it is today. You understand? Like, I just recite, that is it.
Yeah, just like that.
Yeah, just like that. But then I'm somebody that listens to a lot of musicians, and one of them is ST, Talibe, Easy, Dax, Eminem, you know, but these are hard rappers, so I barely listen to people that sing, you understand?
Yeah.
But there was a particular day that I was in the studio and I needed somebody to be my vocalist, you understand? So I called the person, we made an agreement to meet at the studio, but the person failed me. So I was left with no option but to do it. So when I put in the first lines, it was good. I was like, bad vanilla man. So ever since I started singing, even now as we speak now, I've recorded poems that, you know, I don't have to pay any vocalist to do it for me. I have to do it for myself. Yes, there are productions that a whole show that I'll have to be the backup singer and perform at the same time. So it's like 2 in 1 or even more than 1. Yeah. So it's tough though, but alhamdulillah, it's a gradual process. The more you go, the more you discover all the hidden talents in you. Yeah.
And then what about the name Genius? It's interesting.
So this name was actually given to me by a teacher back in primary school. I think primary school or junior school, yeah. So what happened was there was a confusion in class. English. So I'm this person, whenever the class is noisy, I'm not overheat noise. Like I hated noise, so I would just leave the class and move to somewhere else, either the library or just sit another class where I can find solace. So when I step in the class, there was this confusion. The teacher was on board. Everybody, no, Lila asked. We don't know. You know, there are always people that are on the fence, that are not on the fence, and those that are trying to be on the fence. You understand? So when I came, it was very, very easy for me to settle that dispute. I made them understand that this is wrong and this is correct. And ever since the teacher said, from today on, you are genius. So the genius name came. But I hated it, you know, as a Muslim or when you're from a typical Muslim home. You know, there are certain names when they give it to you, when you don't understand, something like that. But so, when I went and meet research, I realized that it's not a bad name actually. It means someone with multi-talents embodied in him.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I just kick off the name Genius.
Yeah. And recently, I've seen some of your posts. You are with ST and Rebellion. Alwe mina tabika duma. Paske ngalo neto move lo be mu grade 1 already. So and then another grade 1 when Africa ngalo dulabe fara. So
yeah, for ST is someone that personally like Genius, you understand? And the reason why we were at the studio is that he featured me on this album. This is the first time that a poet is featured in a major album, you understand? And he had to call me out to come and be part of the album, and shout out to him. So the day that we had this session at the studio, Rebellion flew all the way from Europe to Gambia just to attend that particular event. That shows how genuine and ready he is to support ST. So when he came, ST always knew that I had the talent, you understand? In fact, I would record certain things, I would play it and you would listen and tell me, okay, so you know Alright, yeah, exactly. Because Mumi Mati, I made a call.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, exactly. Talent so the Nyanya, do level the Mila Lonko, if I made a Hanare, man talent so but it's a silla do lit and deal, you understand? So he featured me on this album into the studio, you know, when I recorded, bam. Rebellion was like, bro, do stuff that I asked him. So automatically, a collaboration, and you understand. So I get all Nyama. ST featured me on this album, and we already cooked. It's ready, and trust me, like it's a huge thing.
It's a masala do like
No. Mu surprise wala bomoleti la jila bomoleti. Bol marble funny album dropped that. But trust me, it's unique.
And no ngalo ne seeds ngalo just legend soldier male so
yeah, and to be honest, I really learned Nkarambata le session of the Mahono because small me baby dolbe more than 20 years in the entertainment industry until dolani 10 years master je follow. So anenda moldi mi ano hani ni be sirin tenga kacha ke for 3 minutes man trafem foga mi me fella fala nyaja anga boy ko wa ni mo tema buka kacha no. Yeah, I'm always like that. So some point modul camera ning amala fani mole intera exactly one time bro hadama dingo je kake mo sifa dolde mi alon ko like anything ite be kukela ite be duna chonga fo any mo be fen kachala like fendi mi ko amari ba talal ifana ya give and take anyanta kala wolde. But for example ni be season na be sila dula ke linga ben so na fo wula ron te fen fola nyu mi an ko mo na fala, you understand? And to be honest by ko nga fo nyame this pass is come at dimitala but like of recent by alhamdulillah.
Okay.
Yeah, because being featured in major albums by any big artist will collabo, so it's a big thing for me.
Yeah, big improvement.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and also who are the poets or writers who have influenced your work the most and why?
Yeah, a lot of people, but not necessarily poets. Dolby is almost musician already. But one of the people me I can inspire even up to date is Talibe Easy. And I want to say this here, a lot of Gambians don't know what that guy can give us. Like Mo Jamal Malong. Yeah, he's the one person me who call musical one time. Yala mo sensante be la mo la ko tanke because of coming for a deep do gis malon, but most of these people like Gambian on buko attention on deal comme yari ko nyami. He's one person that really inspired me, you understand? And if there is another person, if there is another being that inspired me the most, it will be God.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly, because he is the greatest poet. Like you cannot be even 0.5% great close to him, close to his greatness.
Never.
It's not even possible.
Yeah.
And when you go through the Al-Quran, everything that we see as poets, if it is positive, it's still there. You understand? Exactly.
Yeah.
And if you truly want to be a poet that people will listen to for the next 10,000 years, you have to understand some of the things that are written in the Quran.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So Allah, God is my biggest source of inspiration.
Okay,
yeah.
so if I tell me the first priority.
Yeah, atelong the first thing. Ni ajembe diam labi, ni ajembe kumanduro yo mulbe ticket osa nebi nala na atelong. Ase dia atele ngasu kumandi. Mole da for last minute kudo ke motina. So I understand. The look efforts that man ke ba dia na di abeka bana ala. Yeah, abe mataldi. Anila jiko ba ate kambe buka sila ku. Yeah.
Yeah. What does poetry mean to you, and how has that meaning evolved over time?
Yeah, poetry is life for me. Understand? Poetry is one thing that I can keep doing 1,000 times. I can be in the studio from morning till late night, recording pieces, cut and copy, wasifa. I understand, and it's a way me alone I'm feeling express no. As a poet, certain things can. Modul se kuodul kenano, modul se kuodul fonano mi alonko. I cannot come out and address it directly because I am an artist, and every artist have a means of responding to certain things. Okay. So poetry like okay, you understand? Like when I lost my grandma.
Okay, my condolences.
Yeah, when I lost my grandma, it was very difficult for me to like tell the world how I felt about it. You understand? And when I lost uncles, aunties, you understand that are very close to me. So poetry became the way me alonko zafuno, and it's my vehicle of protest. So if you listen to Genius Janha, I think, and that is one of the main reasons why a lot of people listen to me, is because I always find ways to picture the lives of my people in what I do. You understand? Yeah. If you listen to all these poems, like Abeka from Hello World, Sunyu Dikabi, Gone, The Ugly Truth,
Abeta. So far, I my favorite poem. My favorite poem, The World We Are Living In.
Yeah.
So since like from school, we can Gambia High. We attended the same school. Yeah, I got assembly to let me get perform stage. Yeah, so The World We Are Living In. At first for Fangabe master. Yeah, but say cool yeah. So it's a mark on like please clearly set Moleja.
Yeah, Seattle, but bed my phone dealer.
Maybe a love piece.
Yeah, exactly. I think I will give
you camera woman or little
lover girls.
Exactly. Gonna be balano sunyala kadela boy.
Yeah, no problem. All right.
But eventually, since you work,
no, eventually, more 150 days.
Exactly. Almost there.
Yeah. Silent nights, simmering stars, serenading secret scars that mark, sunsets painting the sky, shades of gold, savoring the sweetness, stanzas of stories untold. Sweetness, with a soft voice like the sounds of the seven seas. I had to be a better boy, bravely battling the brokenness, building a barn and a bench belly breaking without billboards. I bought no baby broken babies. Jaola diamo siata barintela fitella. Hadamadi muruman ni risa ni jampandila. Jamata ta jamana ta barinjuso sonte tella kanola. Ilafta minnam be wolto aseniata mobile. Nakano dima balundi. Ngalong ilafta walla. Futuosio musosio keosio alfal duata walla. Ni muta nimbulo ni poni sinol bella. Nteman na fiala. 100% of love. 75% of feelings. 50% of romance, 25% of that and this. Luñ defale be faté te paré wuñ ko wax. Luñ lamba be daj ak pikiri mbëggee li ñu doon faj maanaam yu ndaw ñu doon def si bopp bi koñ bi bu ñu doon ne xale ba ñu jaawale ñuy sàcc ak jamono suñ xol yi xel yi di laxasante lonkante roofante éegante bañ lank ni mug du musa wàccante wala bàyyante my love. Just in case an atom of question clicks your brain as to why I should stick to you forever. Reasons being that when I was nobody, when I had no dime, when the world didn't believe in me, before I had the courage to tell the world about myself, when the small baby boy was named Ibrahim, when he was walked to school by Papa, named the genius for the multi-talents at body to him, Baba. What I want to say and what I got to say. If what I should say should be actually what I need to say, what I should say should be what I really need to say, babe. What I mean to say that I love you with every cell in my system and its part, from the membranes, the cytoplasm, to the nucleus of every cell in my system. So even if it means facing the whole world against you, even if it means facing John Cena and The Rock in the ring, I will do it just to feel that beautiful finger with a diamond ring. Bagel deep, the affair choma choma wala mono bu yola. Your love, genius, Janha.
Alright, God no yellow name deserve it. Genius. You know more jelly, you get a job. No, you but saying him quote, Muna when you love peace coma, passing on that it have for your conoyama drum. Jumale Bakuma, guarding your primary research just now. Muna Bakuma, put Jumala for them, passing on that I'm like a second. Who?
Well, sometimes I'm quite
okay.
Putting enough of to somebody.
Alright.
You understand? Because no matter how beautiful you are as a lady, my poetry is more expensive. Yeah, but that wasn't a joke. So I wrote this piece. It's a combination of 2 poems, you understand?
Okay.
But I wrote them all at once when I was in love, you understand? Yeah, everybody goes through that.
Okay.
So it's a very normal thing. Yeah. So
is it when you were in love?
Yeah,
now you are not.
Well, I don't know.
No more.
Maybe Ibrahim is in love, but I don't think Genius is in love. Yeah, so I wrote it and recorded it. The piece is titled Sophia. It is featuring Jalil. Jalil is also another amazing musician.
Okay.
We have already worked on 2 different pieces. You understand? That we have in store. It's only one that I've released so far, so the rest of it are all in store. Okay. So I wrote it to celebrate the love life. Because as a poet, everything that I go through, I make sure it is written. Yeah, it is written. Make sure that it is written. And as I speak to you now, I have almost 418 poems that that I've never, like million never drop follow. Yeah, almost 400. Yeah, million never drop follow. You understand? Like 382 different poems. Like it's different from the ones Namil released. With the way installed. So there is to see honey on just honey yeah. Later album will drop they are different from you have a lot of poems. Okay. Yeah, a lot. So all I know
okay, but I do go for the Dimitar.
Yeah, Dimitar. Mika dina Dimi for come Nida Mamiba Pushka. Alright. Yeah, over Dimitar. But thanks to my management, I have a very solid management. They are easy. Do go easily. And in better time, so do better. They are taking care of those things. Okay. So accountancy assistants now, studio talent, interview talent, studio okay. So sometimes I go more than because school is here. So you know, more than okay. So you will some of the force will come the way being okay. So it's like genius stage but you have a whole management. Yeah, but I'm for Neil left the Tarnia to Feni Mulfancy blood do you corner. Yeah, but tough like sometimes. Okay, so about the creative process, can you walk us through your creative process? How do you go from an idea to a finished poem? Yeah, sometimes I look at that formal process of an antana. Okay. So selecting so can so another nyamere ka for the fast select. More like for example, rumors and lies. Nyata min drop on Friday. Wo like made secretary. That was again like poem on me and made secretary for months. Because it embodies a lot. It tells my entire story from 1.5 years ago. When economy like it's been a very difficult. Yeah. So what I'm saying for you see a lot of differences in Nakarola. A lot of that nature in Nabuga yeah, but I'm being honest with you. Like a whole lot of things.
in the past years, like defamation, photo ka for sometimes you guys give a car for ya berharap di dulu fana mantra dia memuji dia wala ya sudah ni merala na spirit so it becomes difficult. So rumors and lies ngas le no one stands le ngapa no do stand le ngas fa so ati jambar go dul bi je bo wala buka sa fa ngata studio le kananya
idea kanal nyama.
For example, Hero Wall is like the biggest poem in the Gambia, like one of the biggest poems in the Gambia. Even this person, they said, I have video more than 300,000 views on TikTok already. I said that a student of Mariama Tula Janha is it that was for Daddy Joe was school full of killing on the air.
Okay.
Understand? Well, Dulman said, Udoli Gara studio on Yami, I think of because Allah so
yeah.
And Mendia can so often take up what never
yeah, and it is so sad that sometimes you can't find a poem recite, but exactly minimum poetry. Yeah, certain things la ibuka FM for you so you can't come like well join the list. Abola nyama rek.
Atanga wanya boya muso di tem nya yang dulu buka hanya ko address. Amang ke silo fondi kon ka ko dole
okay.
So people might think okay, jinin bala ko ke kanya fo mol ka fa di good of poetry. Say atama la mu do ya la ko ke. Man be understand. But one thing that everybody needs to understand, poetry is way beyond just writing and reciting. You understand? There should be substance in what you write. And when boy, bukan poem ni deh. Bisa ada ni moye poem kedua riset jana. Dia alba fala Maria dia.
Exactly.
You understand? Nama dia, dia apa nyala dia, nada alba fala Maria. Ada jalan poem bit.
Okay.
Apa nama? So we need to make research. Aman kita kok tidak ada kata diminta marah ulang. And sometimes kita poem mau research in local language mau kafe ni mungkin poetry. Jadi malah kafe buat William Shakespeare ada yang mau minta masa orang malam poetry. It's way beyond that. Itu yang mira kamu kan William Shakespeare film para kamu ada. Manika kau bolos buat kamu bejel. African film. Bolong di Italian sampai yang mira. Atu bawa dia isi bol. Anu kita ada tujuh level kamu boleh.
Yeah, exactly.
So sometimes all these things are whole of bilang kamu kita understand. But sometimes we just want relevance of in the social media kan whole sa poet kan wala minta. Ni be mo criticize na fo ika kom ala ni mambere okay afa ba kare ni afa ya bere ya but din ko ay la kila presentation of mambere anda ko mala ni presentation ya lo mi nyang
okay, so ika critics will handle nyadi come like near poem killer recite and ya release biya feedback ni sort of some are good some by negative la tenti so ika will handle nyadi
hani kila ba bala ma kere
exactly
no movie like criticism accept back you understand me because ngalane benina you understand and le women mo jamal fana nyaka dara lori ka you understand especially for example itara foi pincha me fani nyaki mo fula sawa you understand for nani model bi kom wala naman so da poetry industry so akam tay di fam push one or level le mo le dara ne ke and you know exactly. But when it comes to my work, me at na kung makapaya bakit puri genius ay mo bundia ko bala yung puwem duman dia 10 days because once na record ngam watching the media lang ko dia in management and everybody in management they all stuff. Man fe understand will university graduates will be poetry done they teach it in school. Will be entertainment industry for more than 10 years. Yeah, more than 10 years. So when I bring in card and I get them over a thing, so in the whole they listen, do they criticize, do they accept. But ning saving for example 90% out of 100 when my pay along go when we run a studio on a landed up.
Okay.
Yeah, and as a poet fan and even feature ila poetry ni asa manyana nama beda bafu ila boy to nyanya bela fla speak like ende but yang rita la fala no I will not discourage you but bafu ya put in case na findida abekala to dia
yeah, you know, fana cool tan mo yalla wokka men janna wita blonde scale outside ya fa ñin ka ñina aljos la ñina ñenta bola jew si fa
like it's a real process that but criticism by it's very normal to me because di ñaaje mo do le ko ma do fole mais mo limu fenete wala na ni mo ngey fendi mo da fole ma fe understand okay nyama to se jaw so no bari internet mo de la kala temo wis ka do social media ka nyama to criticize
Honey.
Honey. Exactly. And most of the criticism that the people like if they don't know what you are up to or they don't know you. What all the criticism kasia. Okay, let us gino sila ko mo kundi. Aga reset. Ika dan dula ko hatara nyo kami ba ko push it ang na media push. Mo be push lang. And most of the criticism si ba mo le receive. Understand? For example, few days ago, the Moodle was an invitation or saying to be brought out with at an event. What a Moodle event, one and they are already waiting, whoever a project over and so, and it's the same thing, do tabula long and
Exactly.
So, now it's been a go amateur form, like not even go less already, okay, that issue to your head. So sometimes like these petty things, I got tough like it.
Yeah.
Because another killing where more can be got for Yala,
no, not possible. But you must breathe.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, it's all good because we got a farm.
Okay.
And you criticize 10,000 times, not even telling me, pen or carry on a veteran. You understand?
Yeah.
You understand? So me important
legacy.
So important then our ego. So it's all good, it's all up to everybody out there.
Yeah. Okay, so do you have any rituals or habits that help you get into the mindset to write?
Well, like I said, by
Scared of another malon. Maybe.
But then you understand? So sometimes so we also want that let me engage myself. Pseudo fake someone that left a record so I don't go pseudo the middle always
okay.
But mostly I can form a they all who get up. Well, don't be the Mughal company when they am going through this. Even yesterday, a girl reached out to me. She was sexually abused. You understand? For a case with a father. But now she needed somebody to, come out and be her in an artistic way. And I will be so more because now
already.
So things like that I have with me. Sometimes it's your story, sometimes it's
more story.
Yeah.
So I depend on the atmosphere already.
Exactly. But sometimes I have in a way.
But sometimes can just say click it.
Exactly. Yeah, but it's all fun.
Yeah.
It's all fun. You end up moving to buy. I'm open to everybody. Yeah, but I have boundaries as well. There are certain things that you cannot say or do to me, you understand? But when it comes to giving me ideas,
Yeah. Okay, so how do you handle writer's block or moments when the words just don't seem to come?
Yeah, I take a walk.
Okay, Kataman. All right.
Sometimes I just go out, maybe take a walk or have a chit chat with my siblings.
Okay.
Those are my favorite people and they're the most important people in my life.
Okay, but family over everything.
Family over everything.
Yeah.
Money, fame, family is more important than any other thing.
Yeah, so for since in that for ila family kabo top to bottom ike support either financially or physically, emotionally.
Yeah, my family is the biggest support system.
Okay.
Yeah, from my mom, my dad, Nina even do get Nina even do sort of they can probably holiday in Italia, movie can go so well.
I'm a calero for Kajong Kiswagot. Movie can be attend.
Yeah, exactly. Because when something like that,
yeah.
So it's very, very important for you to have the family support. And Akakina is integral. So you got any more panta you be waiting or siba, you got an hour panta but then most important.
As far as wala support be like
I think your family is one people there are people who like they can be honest with you brutally. Come in the family at a sila like a kumodo for you. Exactly.
Yeah.
And in panta you later for so family by 100%.
Okay. Okay, shout out to the family.
Yeah.
And to remind you again, this is Eco TV International, the people's choice. You can follow us on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Sponsors are also invited. Call on the various numbers on the screen. Follow us for more fire. Yeah, and then ni nata fanko fanana ila work system all. What themes or subjects do you find yourself returning to in your poetry, and why do you think they resonate with you?
Yeah, always. I always love to talk about hardship.
Hardship, okay.
You understand? And you know, sometimes it can be a protest form. People want to see to the people out there.
Yeah.
You understand? Yeah, it's crazy. Because me and Gambia you sent them with
Exactly.
You understand? Including the form. Doing ni se ko kasi lota ba ka miro ni pabe ko so anda dolbe siri
Bila, yeah.
Yo wa fi bola. You understand? So whole mood isula da mood la milliard ko iba fola.
A kind of voice thing.
Yeah, exactly, boy. Because I can remember there was this particular piece. Is it Ugle truth dia tuna la mo do be je wa de kom a distance they create another family team. Atuna fo se alhamdulillah na
Okay. Yes, I have work for the impact create.
Yeah, impact create. Yeah, understand. Sometimes a student will do the like give up la from in their poetry career, but ni aja boy. Chile can tell me funny.
Yeah,
they are now doing great. They are now doing great.
Yes, and for many are coming up.
Yeah, they are coming up. So it's just a matter of come here tap came out and all that come. Every show near like I can feature more than 20 poets on a particular show. Like at Roheyatou, we had 12. There's a particular school Milan for like 12 poets near Bonije. And coming from different schools. More like a contour, but definitely like we try our level best coming show going on. Don't be only man recording the phone. Only man in studio for they have never recorded. So like hit point film on table, but got three and you doing next side for a cook and work. And I'm really landing. We did not phone out for say therefore like okay, say like that table and do some.
Yeah, space the dollar.
Space the $1. So I go in now. And I have a piece Milan like I featured 18 poets. 18 poets, both upcoming. Don't be one number recording phone. And don't be before primary school, maybe feature will be a marketing.
Yeah, last time, thank you for the pilot of being able to deploy no connection. Some.
And his show is on the 18th.
Yeah, exactly.
Independence Day.
Yeah.
Senior secondary school.
Yeah, all but la farala.
I didn't think of anything else about.
Exactly. Yeah, for no janne come like he come mark like back a fan upcoming poet soul who miniali basanto. You are very down to earth. Yeah, so keep that up, inshallah, baby Sonia. Yeah, and is there a particular poem or yours that holds special significance to you? Can you share the story behind it?
Yeah, Rumors and Lies.
Rumors and Lies.
Yeah, okay. I mean, problem. I flyer drop. Is it day before yesterday? Another problem. That is like a summary of my entire life.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's so deep. I went through a lot of mental breakdowns. It got to a point where I'm going, but almost gave up on my poetry career because of a lot of things, fights here and there. But at the end of the moment, I am mentally strong. I can overcome anything that comes my way. Sometimes I have difficult, but at the end of the day, I be more alert.
Yeah, so you can have fights received from others.
Yeah,
either poets or level.
I can see like that from different people. Okay, I tell that.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to give relevance. But it was a very, very difficult one for me. I lost a lot of things. I went through financial breakdowns that I am still trying to recover from. You understand?
For government, let's say, you can attend. Well,
to be honest, I'm not going to have a Ministry of Youth Transport. You can sponsor an event. I think they sponsor twice.
Okay.
They sponsor twice, I'll be honest. But apart from it, because sponsors of, I'm being honest with you, like you can soul me, you soul can be like in your company.
If I want to post one.
Not family can so it's always difficult. Mulka ika sole ba mbe so ko ko gandal support so wala na sometimes mulka fi genius buka so na mul support la kan jakale because ni aji be over years boy e po jele ta ni future asiata
kay
ye ka pu jama ke bilan ko nim finde la ka ko ngani ni ke carrière sa o kilo ya na fata but le mo la sera ko difficult yeah other countries were institutional things like
be sponsor la kay
so boy daga poetry ke mi ambo student la ke na fala boy dollar so zero sponsor na poetry la mi na ko ka so bi zero do la to so ko puri la suida ni usu na manta se akam de o don to julul katare dala
kele loss la te fukane julo na tare la ko tan
exactly ba ka kele boy we went through all of daga so tenem dele na so de mi ambo so ta bila $0 si fam ma so do yeah because the new so like jam venue so kara $400,000 holo podcast holo so sound system man na follow some sound system will cost 75 less these mega shoes ndel boga sponsor so I call ya wa na jam let's be honest like over the past years point killing na mala so get Benjamin continuously all genius and wo fa ka call ya like do be je won de la ko gani okay but they cannot organize events 24 sponsor boga
yeah financially
exactly so with all those efforts coming any more finding ka more criticize on about that akam de juma la sa de kam yeah so ako call ya le boy
yeah we call ya like
we don't organize event as a poet not organize event the big starting be in we are there for everything really there are 2,000 institutions ben do la de musa respond at the end of the day boy all that foreign decision de ñoo gambe fi ñaata sponsors lañ di am
akasial
ako wasiya dan ide ko la event no be sponsor kan nafati ji because at the end of the day ni wo ana $10 se sota jaba sambala
yale kay
yeah
jani ba bula ko ñu no bande la su ko ñu no bande
for example STA event to organize them boy kabni October ngani ne ba wala su promote kam mole ko for few weeks la ni mo danala su e dara foreign artists samana ko more than 5 to 7 to 10 sponsors see de la bana ji will be they all sponsor that event
billahi
ST Gambian
whole citizen
mola own product ana million so da ba mu la na
exactly
because abe ala family be so afuta nyawo anda be na mu julan ko sifa
exactly
so those are things me la no 2025 boy the 21st century 2020 hansa Gambian mo wala ndam mo ay boy mu ka so mu kala ni wala kay wala
billahi sad na
do at so do dem boy dem mo creative than whatever you can think of ya wo ka hani so ko mo fala yes because boy it's crazy
no mo talent rin jamal bi bot minam bi yabati sponsor bu ka taraji sponsor bu ka soro
and the other thing especially poetry we have very few television stations near the poetry video play even these major TV stations they don't play poetry videos very rare you go you come here see tele ko more than 2 hours in poetry video they are play so at the end of the day we are there na fare
exactly
and you cannot say poets are not doing well we are shooting quality videos
of course
sorry basut ka the product you will put the kambani the boy bukan mala hani mala video fa ka post
billahi
so ida bukan la video bukan la video play la TV station angkat lal fa di ibu nyanti ada wal pinjam wal imagine ni ka pilih boy yo Facebook yo publicity di mala boy before next 2 years but I say publicity
yeah exactly
yeah it's possible okay Gambia jang gimana ka poetry la ba ke student on Gambia population or student population of world la be world punta dan
ani
mam kunji so they should all come out and start supporting us
either the government level philanthropist level alfintina ngana more support because Gam poetry still Gambia like dunna own more len so alfintina nga more support jani bita foreigner support la imbe ya o follow balundi follow your support follow no stanta isna bantan ko kumandina yeah we are all Africans though but still nyanta patriotic la yeah ngana more support nge wulindi yelo simfulo la parce que still it is one Gambia so ninko Gambia killing at the end of the day kata banta support yeta tuje na fati je so e ba fo kan do rambaram fute ngani amu yeah so ali ngo stop dal ngana on mul mutangi support nge sembentu ya yeah so how do you decide on the form or structure of a poem? Do you prefer free verse or do you enjoy working within specific forms like sonnets or haikus?
Yeah, mostly I can free verse already.
Okay.
The free verse already because that way I can do things my own way and it's the one that is working for me. Understand? Other ways like sonnets and like other lines, other forms of lines. What if I come? Number of lines. What if I working for other people? But until ever since I started dragging one unless it's a collab.
Oh, okay.
When you go, okay, I want you to write like 18 lines poem or 12 lines poem or even 7, 8 lines poems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So how does it feel like to be a poet?
Yeah, it's a blessing in disguise. Yeah, mostly book alone for any movie in the media poetry long. Boy, that's a you think. And people have high regards for you, they respect you.
Yeah, exactly.
Understand? But certain schools in Touray come on level. Yeah, offend for more care respect and boy. So it's a thing. They got feel that I'll go get a positive member of the society.
Yeah.
Like I'm an agent of change. Yeah.
Alright, so you can say peace killer said no more legend. Let's get time over run can out like.
Not do it, Sarah.
Yeah.
It's going to be a very short one.
Okay.
More be a favorite, which is only true.
Alright.
Sometimes you must be different to make a difference. You will always have the same if you keep doing the same. Nyaka judu rek mo lay créer ludu tega rek don fente ku dut yalla do ken ku gëna noppale ku may ku jidal xel nga xamne ni ñu duñ ben no introduction the same key that took you through the realms of sunshine we celebrated the birth of destruction when the nation couldn't see the rise of the sun we are so busy on captions and forget to take action. I wasn't actually wrong when I said leaders no more serve as boosters of inspiration. Because you go now, so mon kuntum kudu saja kono ko alkalo. De mela dula kini ne ko kurang pul. Di badi mambati si wala tina mo be ba ko ABC. Ni mandi am jamasi. Ni bugun ni. But how can we forgive and forget? When who to forgive isn't forgotten to be forgiven or forgiven to be forgotten. But I can understand it. Who is to be forgiven for things that are forgotten? Forgotten in the hearts of the forgiving people that are forgotten by a system that wants to be forgiven. Your poet.
Genius Janha. Ikaw you know genius. Mobile genius. The ugly truth kaliya mo ele. So mobile ya try rek. Yeah. And then fanang sponsor ko bin ka fanyamen dro nyim fa na own programme lati na own poets leng nimi lafta ka sponsor fanang isi number call mini alon ke ba screen of fananto dum fanang alse programme ñu follow through Facebook, Instagram, YouTube and TikTok. Yeah, saying eba minasota la ka fo ela fellow poets and mini alon ko ba rise kan na. Yeah, my motivation also and in many alum fan is up there but still they lack inspiration. Siva.
Yeah, to every poet, whether upcoming or those that are already there, if you are an upcoming, just look up to the bigger ones or the big bats up there and dream of being at the same level or higher than them. And if you're already there, just think of how far you have come. Even now, there is it. All these noises and criticism will always find their way to you, but don't let them get into you. Just keep pushing, inshallah. We will all live, we will all witness a day that we will be happy.
Yeah, more of a story started one day. Yeah, inshallah. Well then, coming after the Nyamendron, Yen Genius Janha Bia Telenagesoti. So this is how we've come to the end of the program. Till next week, inshallah. But Ngafale Nyamendron, I'll see follow Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Sponsors also are invited. So shout out to everyone, fans solo, Mobe, Alga Fintina and your support. Yeah, this is our own thing. So bye bye till next week, inshallah. Love.